This is Twit.
So let's zoom out a little bit to just sort of the big business decisions Google's been making. Last week we talked about Calico, which is Google's new startup that's going to attempt to lengthen the human lifespan, right? And I was saying right here on the show that I thought it was great that they had this long-term vision, and if Google isn't going to make these kinds of investments into the long-term future,
the rule is very simple here. Google makes more money the more we use the web. Okay, now let's logically extend that. The longer we live, the more we use the web.
Spokesman.
Right.
Yes.
The longer we live, the more we
use the web, the more money Google makes.
Right.
That's actually really just an irrefutable argument.
Immortality is good for Google, right? It's the old argument: if it's good for GM, it's good for America. If it's good for Google, it's good for all of us. That's basically the argument.
The car argument is like if you've got a self-driving car, you can surf the web while you're driving, which is good for Google.
And yes, it is, and it's also Google knows where you go. Google knows where you go. Google can use these things for its not to jump around, but for its delivery service that they just launched today in Mountain View. Self-driving cars can have a lot of impact on Google. That's just. It's what I'm disappointed in. I would expect this kind of dorky thinking from the Wall Street Journal or somewhere, but this is Wired. You'd think they'd have a more strategic view, and science comes along, innovation comes along, and Google's talked about this. They don't sit down and think ahead to the full business case use of something. They're willing to explore and invest in it. And again, I'm just glad they are, and I'm glad Wired ain't running the world.
See, here I thought we had a couple of guys who were facing their mortality in a midlife crisis, and out of the goodness of their hearts, they wanted to extend people's lives because they just like humanity. But it turns out they just want us to surf the web longer.
It's greed, Gina. Pure greed to keep us alive longer. That's all. We're gonna be hooked up to machines, and they won't let us die. It's the opposite of the death panel. Google's gonna have the life panel. Google's gonna keep us alive, whether we like it or not, forever. No suicide allowed in Google land. Did you see, by the way, there's a new island that popped up in the latest earthquake right off Pakistan? I'm thinking that's Larry Page's island that he talked about
Google
at
Island.
I.O. Right? Let's put all of Google servers there, and we can go there, and Google can keep us alive forever. We'll be hooked up to things, and we'll be happy. I swear, I'll be happy.
We don't actually even need bodies. You could just kind of put our brains in jars, and we could just kind of like live on the web, through Google.
That's right. That's right.
I think Aaron Levy had the best two takes on this. His first one was, Larry Page, why are 1% of our customers churning every year? Business analyst, death. I see. You know what to do.
There you go.
And then his other one was, Google letting you live forever is their little way of saying sorry about Google Reader.
I'll keep you alive. Well, we can't keep you Reader, but we'll keep you alive for a few more years. So you can experience the future of news discovery.
So